Now I get to talk to the guy with some of the best toys on the floor. Pretty much it. Ash Fidge, President, Guardian Avionics. Ash, what's new at Guardian?
Well, you know, we've been keep going. This is, believe it or not, this is our 25th year.
Oh, there you go.
So we've been making products. You know, start off with our basic CO detectors with the clock, the CO detectors, and then we came out with the iPad mounts that that were pretty famous. And now the new products we have is actually using your iPhones, because everybody has an iPhone, and everybody wants to put it somewhere, and then this way. And this is also all built into the cockpit, so you can either have it flush mounted or with the bezel. And it's just simple as, oh, let me just change that out. But what I was going to say was, so they just go back start using it as a phone. The dock in, and it's charging. You can see that it doesn't come out, and we also have a locking feature on this if you want to go through like a lot of vibration. And so the simplest thing is just, and then when you want to go home, you take your iPhone and you have a temporary display in your cockpit, and then you can use your phone for, typically like everybody uses their phone for everything. In like the Smart MFD app we have, but you can use any of your apps, your typical phone. And the best part is, it's very simple. It stays in your cockpit. It charges behind. It's got the standard what do they call it, safe charging system. And so that's our newest product.
Okay, let's talk about installation. What's the FAA want regulatorily to have this stuff in here? How can you operate it? What are your limitations?
So both of these products are what we call North Sea certified. So they could be installed in any Part 23 aircraft under 6,000 pounds, and all they do need is a logbook entry.
Okay.
So it's all FAA certified. All these have been burn tested, so that they pass the burn test, and that's really pretty basically it is. And then our chargers are also FAA certified, so our CO detectors. So their installation in a Part 23 aircraft is very simple and very quick.
Interesting. All right. Well, you have a number of software utilities that certainly accent the flight environment. Talk about some of the support that you're giving to the pilot through this kind of product.
Well, the biggest challenge is that, people spend a lot of money. Like, say, you could spend easily $15,000 on a Garmin G3X on one side. The other side of the cockpit, you can spend another 15, or you got a nice blank spot, right? You can put a nice little iPad mini with the power supply and everything, with the cooling fan. It's less than $500.
Whoa.
And it's FAA certified.
That's less than an airplane megabuck.
That's it. And the best thing is, then you could take your iPad mini home with you, or if you have your phone, you just could put your phone, take the phone out. It comes back with it. It comes with the power supply. So everything's all it needs is power and ground.
Boy, that does make it simple.
Yeah, it is very simple. It is very simple and very affordable for the average person to buy it.
Okay. What's been the reception so far? What kind of questions are you getting? What are people telling you or asking of you for these installations?
Well, we've been selling these things now, the iPad mini mounts now for the last 5-6 years. So we've been...
A couple of days.
Yeah. Maybe more than that, yeah. And people just love them. So they're really, anytime they go in for a panel modification of their airplane, that's when they put our system in. And it's very nice when they're designing the airplane. The guy's spending a lot of money, they could put like a G500, then you could put our unit on the right-hand side instead of buying another G500. So it's really more of, hey, you got a nice display, you can do, play music, play, what do you call it? Anything that you want to do for flight. So that's really the advantage of having, and the same thing, the reason we did the iPhone is we have so many customers that kept asking. We were doing iPhones before, and the iPhones were, on the side charging and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying, oh, it's too complicated than this. But now with
Now
the
that you're
wireless
wireless,
charge,
That
it just says,
solved everything, didn't it?
it's a snap in and you're done.
Outstanding. That looks pretty slick.
Yeah.
I got a few places I know where that'll go.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. We sell a lot to the boats and different applications also.
Outstanding. Very, very cool. All
Yeah,
right. Tell me what's happening with your CO monitoring systems.
Well, our CO detectors are very common. I didn't bring the other product that we have also, is that we also have a unit that takes your heart rate and oxygen from your watch and displays it on the iPad or on the Garmin G3X. It displays your heart rate and oxygen. As you're flying, you're getting constant heart rate and oxygen. And the advantage of our system is, there's no connection or anything. As long as you launch our app, everything starts working in the background automatically. So there's no Bluetooth connect. So we connect automatically to our system, and we automatically connect to the G3X. So the pilot doesn't have to do no steps. And then also it monitors the CO with carbon monoxide in the cabin.
Well, that's a big topic. There's been a number of problems over the years where people have identified issues where that's arisen and created problems for pilots and sometimes fatal problems for pilots.
Yep.
And it's still something that I don't think the industry pays nearly enough attention to. Mind you, you've recently gotten copied in this realm, but the thing I like about your system is it's platform agnostic. You can put that anywhere with anything. It doesn't matter if you're Aspen, Garmin, Avidyne, old Bendix, King, boat anchor, whatever, the whole bit. It's all there.
Yeah. So the advantage of our system is that we have it as you can do a simple thing like putting an EDA light, a tone in the headset, a tone on the outside, or an RS-232 to display on the board, on the panels. So ours is really a multi-purpose design so that the customer can use it to any way that he feels that he really needs.
Excellent. What's next on your development program? What are you looking to tackle next?
We keep, as I say, keep innovating, try to keep, most of our thing is that we're trying to go is after, hey, what does a pilot need that the market is not currently satisfying, and can it keep it in a reasonable price and everything. And so that's kind of been our, we're coming out with a little different power supply. So
I noticed the USB interface.
Yeah.
Everybody wants those.
Everybody wants those, and then also now the advantage of ours, we're also getting all TSO certified to make it installations much easier instead of just a NORSI.
Okay, very good. What's your development process on something like this? I mean, where does it start? What do you have to do? What's it take?
Well, usually it's just a concept, and then you start doing a mechanical layout, say, okay, this is how I want it, this is how the board. Then we go to the board design, my electrical engineer, say, hey, can you design me a circuit that can do A, B, and C? Then try to put that together, then start doing some testing. And then once the testing is done, then try to go after certification. And then certification, then try to go to the market and see if the market will accept it.
Yeah.
So it's just a long
in other words,
process.
the
It's
crapshoot,
it's still a year and a half project for any item that you decide to bring on.
Ouch. That takes some time, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's the love of aviation. Well, they say I'm not smart enough to do anything else.
Yeah, well, my line is, my mom always said I'd never find honest work, and nobody's going to call my mom a liar. So this is what I do instead.
Yeah, this is what I do too.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What's what are some of the stories? What are people telling you about how they're utilizing it?
Well, like I said, we could give you so many testimonials. People just love the iPad mounts. They love our CO detector. We have saved so many lives. I don't know if you know, I was the first guy to develop this thing because I had CO poisoning when I was learning to fly. There was nobody in the market designing any kind of electronic system. Everybody had the little plug, and it may have been there a year, 5 years, and nobody knows. Nobody looks at that thing. So once we decided Then we got the FAA to certify it. We're the first company to ever get TSO certification on these. And then the OEM started installing them, and now every OEM and every OEM installs them in the airplane.
Excellent.
So, yeah. So
well, I'm happy to see it because the sad part is, in my job, every morning I have to go through the accident reports. And there's a number of them where you just don't know what happened or whatever the case may be, and everybody knows that CO is an issue, especially in older aircraft that may not have been maintained properly or recently. And CEO is a killer. It's also just one of those things that nobody thinks about, nobody considers. And as you know, we've had this conversation that safety is the most difficult thing to sell in aviation.
It is. Because it always happened to the other guy. It won't happen to me.
And your saving grace is that your gear is really affordable.
Yeah.
Performing a function that has a high degree of criticality. Criticality 1, if you remember the phrase from the NASA days, the stuff that could take you down.
Yeah.
CO can take you down.
Yeah.
And it ain't pleasant.
Yes, and I agree with that, like I said. And if I can tell the customers that the biggest problem in an aeroplane, I know people talk about the exhaust system, but it is the door seals in the cabin of your doors. If you can just, whenever you do your annuals, if you could just look at your door seals, because what happens is as you're landing or you're doing slow flight,
it's all coming right back.
You produce a vacuum inside the cabin, and all that exhaust that's running on the side of the airplane comes right in. And you'll see if you have a CO detector, it'll go off like crazy. So the best thing I would tell the customers is when you're doing your annuals, to make sure the door seals don't, put a light through it so you can't see any light from your door seals.
Tough stuff.
Yeah.
Very tough stuff. How can people get more information on your programming and your products?
Well, they go to guardianavionics.com and our website, and we have a lot of the questions, all the different products that we sell. And they can also reach me out at ash@guardianavionics.com, and I can respond to them. So they could do it both ways, give us a call.
And if you're in Phoenix, come on over to the AEA convention.
Yeah, come over. And if you're in Arizona, come over to Tucson and see our facility.
There you go. Well, Ash, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're doing cool stuff, man.
Thank you.
I mean, I realize I'm being a little flippant and calling them toys, but 1, cool. 2, useful. 3, looks good. Toys.
Yep.
There we go.
And they're affordable. And
yeah. And this is the one reason why you've been able to not one reason, pardon me.
Yeah.
This is a primary reason why you've been able to achieve such market penetration, is because you didn't overprice it.
No.
You kept it reasonable, and as hard as aviation is to sell, anything that costs more is even more difficult to sell. You made it reasonable, and somewhere down the line, nobody can actually tell you for sure, but you saved lives.
Yeah, oh no, we have. I can tell you from Cessna, won't fly airplane out of test fly if the carbon monoxide detector is going off. Yeah, because they have had incidents, so well, it is.
God's work, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 68th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.